Amazing. Great. It's tremendous. I'm going to do the old man question.
We couldn't have timed that fucking boot finish.
Dude, everything. The fucking whole thing was timed perfectly.
It really was. And it's just funny how, like you say, it wasn't our regular psychology, but for some reason that night it was.
Guys, why today we have very athletic wrestlers in the majors? Why can't we see a match like that today?
I tell no goddamn story.
Is it that simple? It's not that simple. Is it timing? Is there something that's not being trained? What is it?
Number one, the belts have to mean something. That's number one. So that sets, and then back in that era, it wasn't like you got televised fucking tag titles. We were still 5 pay-per-views back then.
You know how like years ago, like when we were younger, like I mean, there would be movies with special effects, but they still had to be good fucking movies, right? Like,
yeah.
And then, like, once the better special effects came, you would see it kind of start to flip when it came to, like,
that's
I've said it a lot.
I've said it a lot about, like, the WrestleManias. Like, the WrestleMania now is like Marvel.
And even the matches, like the fucking they do much
everything, the costuming,
more intricate moves. So that's like fucking those moves are like special effects to me, and like so it's easier because you're getting reactions out of the moves.
Yeah,
so it's like sometimes it's hard to differentiate like the different kinds of reactions, like a reaction for a move versus like the other reaction, like the in between the move stuff.
Like I always say this, and I know, it's I know that in our era, we never had 86,000 people 2 nights in a row in a fucking football field. So everybody's doing. I mean, it's just a different fucking, Right now, I don't want to sound like we're fucking fans of The Godfather 2. Like that's the greatest film of all time.
It's not. It's not. But
what do you say, Oliver?
No, I feel it's not. Godfather 3 is fucking greatest movie.
Oh yeah.
They need to put more Sofia Coppola in it. Do a new edit. But I still contend. I mean, I still will say that the belts were not of consequence to me watching that. Now the build up to that, and maybe the excitement around the fact that the belts may change hands because they didn't as often as they do now. But that match, if you took the belts out of it and showed it today, I think it would still have the same jaw-dropping effect on the precision of 4 wrestlers who seemingly don't take a pause. Everything's believable, except the double team on the abdominal stretch. Everything's believable. Everything's crisp. Nothing's fucking blown. And maybe if it is, I didn't notice it because you guys knew how to fucking cover. I don't think it's even any of the angles, the belts, nothing. I just think it stands as an athletic competition.
I think some you put some guys out there that they care less about, that the fans care less about, and they can have the same match. Obviously, like a lot, I think some of that to do with we were just over, like the people cared about. We had emotional equity built up.
Plus, we were going. I mean, the fact that it was us 4, so we were going to go. I mean, we were going to give extra because we were out there with our boys.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of people there, like even though like the internet wasn't a thing yet, the behind the scenes news, the smarter wrestling fans, there was a smaller, percentage of them, but a lot of them were in that area, right? And they knew,
I mean, they had the
they
could get the sheets.
Yeah, they knew the click was. They knew what we were.
They'd go to.
We were all pouring the ring together.
Yeah, they go to Lookers and see all four of us fucking hanging out.
Yeah. So I think they knew it was something that was probably going to be special.
Yeah.
Too Hard and Fierce brings up a good point. It was high octane, but I wouldn't call it a spot fest.
Not at all.
No, there were the peaks and valleys and the if
some-
someone
there
was
was
selling, they fucking logically sold.
I mean,
They
you-
didn't
you-
bounce back up and use the leg that just got.
The fact that you said the abdominal stretch was fucking bogus, but it was a hole like that. That and
Not
then,
the abdominal stretch, the pull.
The thing?
pull. Yeah.
Oh,
The pull.
that's physics.
Come on, man.
That's physics.
God, I thought you.
What? You got a few cunt hairs you can split, Sean.
All right, it's time for the fans to talk to Kevin.
Pry bar, sir.
About that
So-
match or about anything?
A leverage.
So Ryan Chino, you're going to be up first, followed by David Van Boeglen.
Come on in, Ryan. How are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so I had a question for Kev and Sean, but my first question is, this was about a month before you got the world strap. So did you know at the time or shortly after? Because you asked, you mentioned Vince
No.
asked you to put the belt on you.
Yeah, no. When we lost this, let's see, we never dropped. This is going into
This was
Survivor.
'94 in October, and you.
Survivor
Got the
Series
belt.
would have been the
Survivor
pay-per-view,
Series.
right?
Yeah, Survivor
Yeah.
Series is where Sean threw the belt in the trash can. And we never
Yeah,
lost.
and then a
we
few
never- we
days
never lost the
after.
belt. Yeah, we never lost the belts. We relinquished them.
Okay,
So-
and
So that was a rat that fucking that they smelled, huh? I smell a rat.
Well,
Oh, that's
well,
inside. Sorry,
fuck,
that's inside baseball.
I got didn't I get the belt on like November 24th?
I was there. I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I missed it. I was so bummed
was
out.
like
I
a
couldn't be
month.
there.
I think I want to think that I got it November 24th or somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was a month
But
out from
we-
Christmas,
well,
right?
We didn't know. Yeah, because my mom passed.
Your mom
You knew like
passed.
a week out, right, or a little bit less. Maybe
Okay.
it was
Yeah, about a week.
very
out, I
short
knew.
notice.
We came
And
home.
Sean.
Hey, Ryan.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Kevin.
No, that's fine. I was just saying we came home from a European trip, and I went right to
Okay.
Vince's house. I went right to Vince's house. They said, and I got hammered before I worked against Quiche, and I thought I would fucking had heat. And he told me he wanted to go to his house because he wanted to talk to me. And I thought he wanted to fire me in person. So I'm waiting for Vince. In fact, we've been traveling so much. I fell asleep on Vince's couch. Took my shoes off and fucking just fell asleep on Vince's couch. He walks in and says, "Make yourself at home." I look up, I'm thinking, "Oh man." He goes, "Let's go outside." We went outside and he said, "I'm gonna put the belt on you." I said, "The IC?" He says, "No, the world." I'm like, "Holy fuck." Do it in a house
big
show.
belt. We called the big belt the dime.
Yeah. You put the dime
He
on
put
you,
the
kid.
dime on me.
Okay, Sean, I read about your injury early in your career, I think with Bill Wilcox,
Oh, that one, the head injury. My first big head
Yeah.
injury, yeah.
and they told you were never going to wrestle again, I heard.
Well, they just advised against it, you know.
Wow.
It was a pretty massive. I had acute hematoma on my brain, they called it. It's blood clot, actually, on my brain. Yeah, I was up. I couldn't wrestle for 3 or 4 months. Remember, Sean, I was telling you about I was driving wheelchair Donnie around?
Yeah.
There's a nice story that's going to be in my book about the time that I couldn't
Well,
wrestle. around
I
that
think
time.
officially the cat's officially out of the bag now. I
I
think.
mean-
Yeah. So I'm working with Sean in bringing that and more amazing and inspiring and challenging stories of a life you have to read to believe. So that will be coming to your bookstores next year sometime. Yeah. Thank you, Ryan.
Well, Kev, I just want to say I've been your fan. I've been your fan, Kev, since about 1992 when you
Thank you.
read a little bit. I started following your career after I saw your name in the credits for Ninja Turtles. So
Cool.
followed it since then.
Thank you very much.